The next day at school, everyone was talking about it. I was still in a state of shock. My child brain couldn't accept the fact that my brother was gone. But what affected me more was the constant questions about him and the rumors the older kids came up with, saying Krampus got him because he was naughty and other false stories like that. To this day, the cops couldn't tell who or what killed Kevin. At first, they wanted to think it was human, but the large, gory scratches on his body didn't resemble anything human. They were something only very large claws could match. My parents, along with the officers, looked everywhere, but they couldn't find a single clue. I remember my mother being so devastated. She wanted us to move, but my dad knew we couldn't afford it. The days flew by, and Christmas was right. On Christmas night, after my parents were asleep, I saw a present under the tree. I unwrapped it, and when I saw it, I couldn't believe it. My parents bought me a PS3. It was the first time I smiled since the incident. I was genuinely happy. I stayed up all night playing Marvel Ultimate Alliance on my shiny new, very expensive console. In that moment, it seemed like my life could take a turn for the better. After a couple of hours, the electricity went out. My parents were asleep, and waking them up was not an option. So I knew I had to go into the basement to turn the electricity back on. It was a common problem, and I knew how to fix it. But the idea of going back to that place gave me goosebumps. I went down the stairs, took a deep breath, and opened that damn door. What I saw next made me freeze in place. He turned his head toward me with a big smirk on his face. His clothes were soaked in blood, he smelled like a cadaver, and his eyes were glowing red. As he saw me, his smirk grew wider. Then he opened his mouth to speak, revealing his crooked teeth. "Hello, Mary. I hope you enjoyed your gift," he said in a raspy, cold tone. I didn't get what he was saying. "What gift?" "Your PlayStation 3, of course. I read your letter, and since we've been neighbors for so long, I couldn't help but honor your request." He chuckled softly. At this point, I was so scared I could barely process what he was saying. But then it hit me. The letter I sent him, I wrote exactly this. "Hi Santa. For this Christmas I want the coolest present in the whole world. A PlayStation 3 so I won't have to share the sneeze with..." Santa spoke again. "Now that we've met, I have to go. Do not worry, you won't share the same fate as poor Kevin. But I want you to remember you asked for it. This is on you. Merry Christmas, Mary. I'm sure you'll enjoy your PlayStation." He got up, pulled aside an old bookshelf, and left through a hidden hole while loudly saying, "Ho ho ho." I waited a whole 2 years before I told my parents about this, but obviously they didn't believe me like you probably won't.